Welcome, Amanda here with Crafting with Amanda, and today I am doing a layout using more of the Wildberry Blast special from Close to My Heart. It's good through the end of April, and there's a link to my shopping site if you have any interest in it. But here are the pattern papers from that special, and the sticker sheet is there as well. So I have these photos from when we went to Michigan Adventure one summer when we were still living in Michigan, and the color of my shirt is just perfect for this Wildberry. And then with the kids kind of in that green tones, and then of course we all had blue jeans on, I just thought that I would add the green apple and then the bluebird just to make the pairing the three colors in this layout. So we have Wildberry, bluebird, and green apple. And of course it'll be accented with blacks and whites. So I'm just trying to figure out how to use, these are all 6x6 triangles, because I thought if I laid those across as diamonds, and then I am such a person that I need to see how a layout, is gonna look before I can decide. So now that I've decided that I like that look, I'm going to try to find a way to make these 6x6 squares uniform and all level. So I'm actually using a line on my vinyl desk covering here to line up the points, and then I'm using my ruler to make sure that the bottom points are the same distance apart. So I'm just lining it up and making sure that it's a corner. And on this one particular page with the triangles on it, it was a little weird because the line didn't go straight up and down at the point. It was a little off from there. So it took me a minute to get my eyes wrapped around that. So then I measured from the top and the bottom to see how much room that I wanted. So I cut the green apple at 9 inches tall, and then I'm going to frame it with the zip strip. And before I do that, I'm trying to, again, audition some of my embellishments. I have this viewfinder reel, so I'm going to go ahead and stamp that and just fussy cut it out. I just used my scissors and cut that circle out. And then this is the Berry Blast stamp set. And so I was thinking behind the photos where all the corners of the pink are, I'm going to go ahead and do some random stamping with this stamp set, the Berry Blast special, but then I'll also go back and add in some of the splotches from the Perfectly Imperfect pattern stamp. So I took the bluebird and just stamped some of these open kind of open fireworks or open starbursts. And then I stamped the Wildberry on the inside. And then I'm just random stamping them around. And I don't know if you can see the little triangles that I drew. That indicates where kind of the points of these pink papers are, so that I knew where to do some of the stamping. And again, I'm going to go back and kind of audition this. I was thinking, was I going to tuck it in underneath for that real life? And that's when I decided that I really needed to add some more of the splotches. And I'm doing those splotches just in black because I wanted it to be a little more bolder or deeper in tone than the bluebird was. So now I'm centering the photos, and I just matted, I cut all three photos down a little bit so that they would fit inside of the one frame. And I really liked it. Instead of having each photo have its own separate space, I thought by doing it this way, it kind of tied everything together. And yeah, there's 2 photos of me and the kids and only one of my husband and the kids, but by joining them all together, we're all one big family, apparently, with 2 moms and extra kids. And now I'm going back and just kind of sprinkling in, and I'm making sure to turn the stamp set so that the splotches that are on are different, so that they don't all look the same. And then I was looking to see if I needed some little border element in addition to that zip strip. And I was trying to audition some white, and I think what I really needed is something to ground it more, so I pulled out my black shimmer trim. And I don't know if it does it for you, but as soon as I put that down, it was like, yep, this is it. This just kind of anchors it to the page and made it feel more comfortable to my eye. So what I did is I actually peeled it up so it was sticky, and as you saw, I adhered it right to my cutting blade, or cutting platform, excuse me. And now I'm using the lines from the Versamat so that I can line those up. So now everything is glued down. I'm just going to trim off the edges and kind of get to the fun part of embellishing this page with all of the goodies that I have. So I grabbed from my stash some of the black and white enamel dots, and I have the Wildberry enamel dots. And then these die cuts that you see are from the In Full Bloom die cut collection, and there's leaves and butterflies and the Edison bulbs, so there's a whole bunch of things to try. There's one camera, there might have been two. I might have used a camera already on another layout. So now I'm going to grab the sticker sheet here and just see if there's anything that I can help kind of give a background or a base for a cluster of embellishments. And I didn't feel that this needed a title necessarily. I'm using the real life as the title, but I did go and add some journaling strips at the bottom, and it just talked about that we didn't normally do a lot of family vacation things, especially when we were in Michigan, because when you're on a farm in the summer, you're out in the fields working and making hay, and you know the saying, you make hay when the sun shines. Well, that's what we did. So this was kind of a fun, haying got done early, so in August, before we had to start planting for the winter crops, we snuck away to Michigan Adventure. So that's basically what the journaling says. And then I'm trying something different here. Instead of using one embellishment or sprinkling the different colors throughout the whole page, I'm going to use the white enamel dots up around this area that's pink and black with the camera. And then in one of the other sections, I'm going to use the black enamel dots and kind of tie it in that way. And then in my third area, I'm going to go ahead and grab the Wildberry enamel dots. And so it was something different. I thought I'd try it. I kind of like it, especially with how this layout came together with the stamping in the background and those kind of things. So I encourage you to go into your stamp sets and find ones that maybe you used to love and haven't visited in a while, or maybe some that you can look at a little differently of, this little flower really could look like a burst, and it doesn't have to, be a flower or a star, and you can use it as a background, kind of as some noise in your projects, whether that's a card or a scrapbook layout. And now I'm just going to tuck this little banner underneath the light bulb, and here on camera it seems like it's going faster, but I remember when I was trying to do it, I felt like, why is this not going in there? So it's funny how our perceptions change. So now I'm going to grab these Wildberry embellishments and sprinkle them around this little cluster of decorations. And this layout is done. I got to stamp, I got to use up some of my stash stuff, some old stamps got employed, as they say. So I'm really excited about how this turned out. The colors in the photo just work with these papers. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to help. You can check out my Facebook group, Crafting with Amanda VIP group, and it's one question of basically, how did you hear about me? And you can say YouTube. If you haven't subscribed, if that button is red, go ahead and click that. There's a bell next to it if you click. That'll give you notifications when I post something new. Otherwise, here's another video that you may be interested in, and I hope you have a blessed day. Thank you.